Have you ever had that unsettling feeling when something unexpected disrupts your normal routine? One small moment can trigger a wave of emotions and questions you never anticipated. That's exactly what happened to me. I never imagined I'd be here, typing out my story for strangers on the internet. But life has a way of throwing curveballs. My name is Ryan, and I'm 31 years old. I've been married to my wife, Emily, who's 27, for 4 years. We've built a comfortable life together, a cozy home, stable jobs, and a routine that works for us. I work in IT, and Emily works in marketing. Her job involves a lot of teamwork, meetings, and brainstorming sessions. She's always been passionate about her work, and I love that about her. It all started on a seemingly ordinary Tuesday. I was at the office, buried in tasks, when I received a notification from our indoor security camera. Someone was home. This was odd, because neither of us were supposed to be there. Curious, I opened the app and saw Emily at the dining table, having lunch with a man, a coworker. I recognized him instantly. His name is Jake. I've met him a few times at office parties and social gatherings. He seems like a nice guy, friendly, respectful, and, from what I know, in a committed relationship. Seeing them sitting there, chatting over lunch, didn't spark immediate anger or jealousy. Instead, it planted a seed of confusion. Why hadn't Emily mentioned this? I closed the app and tried to focus on my work, but my mind kept drifting back to that image. I told myself it wasn't a big deal. They had a training session nearby. It made sense for her to come home for lunch. Still, I couldn't shake the feeling that she should have told me. It wasn't about controlling her or being jealous. It was about transparency. When I got home that evening, Emily greeted me with a warm smile and a kiss. We talked about our days. She mentioned the training session and that she came home for lunch, but there was no mention of Jake. "So, how was lunch?" I asked casually, trying to keep my tone neutral. "Good," she replied, not missing a beat. "It was nice to get a break from the office." I nodded, debating whether to bring it up. Finally, I decided to dive in. "I saw the camera notification today," I said, watching her reaction closely. "I noticed you had a guest." Her expression shifted, a mix of surprise and slight discomfort. "Oh yeah, Jake came with me. We had lunch together." "Why didn't you mention it?" She frowned. "I didn't think it was a big deal. We were both hungry, and it made sense to come here." "I get that," I said. "But why not just tell me?" She sighed. "I guess I didn't think it was important." "You're not mad, are you?" "No," I said honestly. "I'm not mad. It would have been nice to know." As the days passed, I found myself reflecting on past relationships. Trust has always been a tricky subject for me. In my last serious relationship, my ex had been secretive about her friendships with male coworkers. It eventually led to our breakup when I discovered she had been emotionally involved with one of them. I never wanted to bring that baggage into my marriage with Emily. We've always prided ourselves on being open and honest with each other, but this incident brought old insecurities to the surface. One evening, Emily noticed my distant behavior. "Ryan, are we okay?" she asked, concern evident in her eyes. "Yeah," I said, forcing a smile. "Just a lot on my mind." "Is it about Jake?" she pressed. I nodded. "It's not about him, specifically. It's about communication. I want to feel like we're a team, that we share things, even the little stuff." A week later, Emily invited me to join her for a work event. Jake was there, and I took the opportunity to chat with him. "Hey, Jake," I said, shaking his hand. "Ryan, good to see you again," he replied warmly. "Likewise. Emily mentioned you guys had lunch at our place the other day." He nodded. "Yeah, the training session was nearby. It was a nice break." I decided to be direct. I wasn't expecting to see that on the camera. It caught me off guard." Jake looked genuinely surprised. "Oh man, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cause any trouble. Emily didn't mention it might be an issue." "It's not about you," I clarified. "It's about communication between me and her." He nodded understandingly. "I get that. For what it's worth, Emily speaks highly of you. She talks about you all the time at work." His words eased some of my anxiety. But the conversation made me realize that my concerns were more about my relationship with Emily than about Jake himself. That night, Emily and I had a long, heartfelt conversation. "Ryan, I never meant to make you feel like I was hiding something," she said. "I honestly didn't think it was a big deal." "I know," I replied. "But for me, it's about feeling included in your life. I want to know about your day, who you spend time with, what makes you happy." She took my hand. "I get that, and I want you to know that there's nothing to worry about. Jake is just a coworker. You're my partner, my best friend, and the person I love." We agreed to be more mindful of our communication moving forward. Emily promised to share more details about her day, and I promised to work on my insecurities. In the weeks that followed, our relationship felt stronger. We made an effort to have lunch dates during the work week and spent more time discussing our days. I realized that trust isn't just about what someone does or doesn't do. It's about how you choose to interpret their actions and communicate your feelings. Looking back, I see that this incident was a turning point for us. It taught us the importance of open communication and reminded us that marriage is a continuous work in progress. Would I have preferred that Emily mentioned Jake from the start? Sure, but I'm grateful for the lesson it brought us. Marriage isn't about never having doubts. It's about facing them together, with honesty and love. And that's the perspective I was seeking.